everybody, Dan Monroe here, also known as Dragonbrush. Yeah, you guessed it. Hey, I got a really good show in store for us today, so let's get to it right after this. Ahoy, Spooky Joe! Oh, getting ready for my Captain Wallace stuff there.
This is Channels Television's breaking news.
Dennis Rodman writes children's book. Hey guys, Crystal Marie here for Captain Wag. Former NBA star Dennis Rodman is now a children's author. The NBA Hall of Famer has penned a book called Dennis the Wild Bull. Rodman recently reconnected with his father after being separated for 42 years and hopes this book will help him better his relationship with his own children.
Dennis Rodman, NBA Hall of Famer, hair-dyed hard partier, children's book author? Yep, the former rebound monster is reportedly writing a book for kids called Dennis the Wild Bull, featuring a tattooed red-maned beast. According to the book's website, Rodman's submission...
Our Get Real this morning is about Dennis Rodman, NBA Hall of Famer, basketball's bad boy, several arrests for drunken driving, domestic violence, the head coach of a topless women's basketball team, problems paying more than $200,000 that he had in child support due until last month, and now he is penning a children's book. The book is called Dennis the Wild Bull. And it kind of looks a little bit like Dennis Rodman, has some tattoos and some piercings. According to the website for the book, it will convey good lessons to children based on Dennis's own experiences as a world-class athlete. It'll be about overcoming obstacles similar to the ones that Rodman faced growing up. Rodman, the agent, told the Daily News it focuses on character. Would you read that to your small children?
You know, we do have that book, Go the Expletive Deleted to Sleep. Anyone ever familiar with this?
Yes, that's a fantastic book.
Yeah.
I don't even have children and I read that book. It's a great book.
I've never seen it.
I don't know if this is in that genre.
I know. I think his is a
serious children's book.
Serious
Look, I'm all for redemption, so I like that even if Dennis Rodman maybe hasn't gotten there, that maybe this was part of his therapy and rehab. Like, write a children's book, help get through your childhood, help other children continue to not make the mistakes that you made.
I think so too. I mean, I think it's our culture now.
But you didn't know the man who illustrated Dennis
entitled to
Rodman's
their
recent children's book lives right here in a small town in West Michigan. Alex Jokic met up with an artist in Paw Paw whose career is skyrocketing. Alex.
Josh, you've probably seen Dan Monroe's work on TV or in bookstores this year without even realizing it, and he's working on several other celebrity projects as we speak.
I sat and watched Jimmy Fallon hold that book on his show and fan it open for people to see the artwork that I've done. I mean, it's amazing.
Dan Monroe's always been an artist. In fact, at 12 years old, one of his comic books was even published. But even he was surprised when he recently landed a deal with an NBA superstar.
You live your life in a small town. The first time I was contacted by the writer that said, you know, we're putting together a thing with Dennis Rodman and we would like for you to work on that, I was, of course, blown away.
Dennis the Wild Bull may have been Dan's big break.
It's strange how life happens. When you do one book, then people see it and they like it, and the publishers, you know, kind of pass it around. You're called to do another one and another one.
And he does it all from home in Paw Paw. 5 big-name books in the past year.
I've done a book for Jesse James Leha, who is a boxing champion. I did a book for Costa Zoo. He's actually a International Boxing Hall of Fame. I'm working right now on a book for Erika Eleniak. People may know her from Baywatch.
Each book takes anywhere from 10 days to a couple of months to complete, but that's nothing compared to Dan's now quite successful illustrating career, which has been a lifetime in the making.
Since the time I was a child, you know, I've been working towards this moment. It's not such an easy thing that dreams really do come true, but you have to make them come true.
Dan is also currently working on a commemorative comic book for the U.S. Department of Defense that will be handed out to schools and military groups throughout the country. He has several other celebrity projects in the works as well that he can't give us the details on quite yet.
So that was back in 2012 when the story first broke that Dennis Rodman had written his children's book, and I had been hired as the illustrator to illustrate the book and design the characters and everything else. So, you know, and in the time that happened, I saw my name being talked about in every media source worldwide, and that is no exaggeration whatsoever. And my name was, you know, attached to everything that Dennis Rodman did for a few years after that as well. And honestly, I'm still trying to decide on if that was a good thing or not. Yeah, I don't know.
Yep, I did that book, and I'm very proud of it too. Like all of the artwork that I do, I put a lot of work into it. No one even knows the challenges that I had to overcome to produce this project. Maybe someday someone will ask me to tell the story. Well, in the years since, I've worked with many famous people. Erika Eleniak, Sybil Danning, Kevin Sorbo, just to name a few. I also get to travel around and make appearances at comic conventions and public schools where I show kids how to draw, and we create superheroes together. Not too bad for a kid who was always drawing dinosaurs in class instead of listening to the teacher.
Oh my goodness, wow. You know, my next segment has me bringing in and talking to just a huge, huge icon of the Geekverse. Anybody who knows The Land of the Lost and many other things that this man has been in, yeah, you're going to know exactly who he is as soon as the cameras roll. So, hope you enjoy this.
Hello everybody, just want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching the Dragonbrush show. And today I have a very special guest with me. It's my good friend and actor extraordinaire, and I want to thank him for taking time out of his busy schedule to come and talk with me a little bit today. But here we have Wesley Eure.
Hey, how are you, Daniel?
I'm doing good, Wesley. How are you doing, buddy?
Listen, I'm in Mexico. I'm in Puerto Vallarta. I'm really struggling with 80-degree weather in the sun. I don't know how I'm shoveling sunshine. It's not easy.
Well, you know, we're up here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and right now outside it's snowing and blowing, and you know we have our highest temp right now is 10 degrees. So
that's why I come to Mexico.
I do not blame you there at all.
And Daniel, as the signs all over down here in Mexico say, you're on the fun side of the wall.
Down there with the mangoes and everything else, I saw your pictures.
Mangoes are in full bloom, and within a month they'll be falling off trees. Did you ever? I did not know that a mango tree. I thought a mango was like a little bush, like a papaya, right?
Right.
They're like 3 to 4 story high trees with thousands of mangoes. And the other day I'm walking by a school in Puerto Vallarta, and suddenly this thing drops in front of me, and I look down, and it's a ripe mango.
Oh my God!
And I look up. And I'd never seen a mango tree before. Well, their one right in the middle of town is one that is in full ripeness. Thousands of mangoes. So I picked up the mango, I ate it, and I have fallen in love with Mexico. But they're all over town. There are thousands of them, big, huge trees.
Oh my
so
goodness.
It's amazing.
That is amazing. That just sounds amazing. You know, it reminds me of days back when I was living in Hawaii years and years ago. When I was stationed there, and you would be walking downtown Honolulu, and a coconut would fall out of a tree. You know.
Daniel, do you know I actually researched it? I swear I did this. Deaths by coconuts each year is huge.
Right?
I'm not kidding. It was like 800 people or something a year, if I'm not mistaken. It was. I mean, you would think that would be. Oh well, it's not. Nobody's going to die of a coconut. No. They're huge. They're heavy. They're all over the place. If I look out my window, I'm here. I live in a very sort of Mexican area, and I look at the jungle from my room, my house, and I can see tons of wild coconut trees, and they're filled with coconuts way up on the mountain and stuff. And if you get under that in a windstorm, you're in trouble.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that is crazy. Well, Wesley, if you can tell my people here who you are, what you've done. I know you're straight from the land of the lost.
Yeah, run, Holly, run! There's a dinosaur. That's my entire performance is Will Marshall on Land of the Lost. But I sang the theme song, which was good. That was, if you guys remember, Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition met the greatest earthquake ever known. High on the rapids, it struck their tiny raft. Plunging down 1,000 feet below to the land of the lost. Roar.
That's awesome.
But I'm also the co-creator of PBS's #1 show, Dragon Tales, which ran for 9 years, animated, produced by Sesame Street people, and it was an incredible hit. And I also played Mike Horton on Days of Our Lives for 9 years, and I hosted Finders Keepers for Nickelodeon, lots of movies in production for another couple of shows, and lots of concerts, and that's kind of my life.
That's amazing.
And I live in Mexico.
You can't beat any of that, man. You can't beat
any
of that.
You see, I mean, we have something in common because Dragon.
Oh, yes.
Dragon Tales. You see, I mean, we're connected.
Absolutely, we are. Absolutely. And you know what? I loved Dragon Tales when it was on. And of course, my children did too, And we would watch it all the time. And of course, I grew up. I don't want to age you or me or anything like that, but I did grow up watching you on the Land of the Lost. And,
I was very young and very pretty.
You were. You still are. Yeah. You still are.
Time just dim the lights and, I don't know, a little Botox. A gallon of Botox. It's so weird when you get old and you suddenly have, like all these things hanging down. It's very weird.
It's very true. There's times where I say to myself, God, I wish I was doing this back when I was young and pretty.
Well, I got to tell you, the nice thing about being on TV, it's almost like a home movie. So all the old episodes of Land of the Lost or Days of Our Lives or whatever, I get to see myself back then as young, and so it's my home movie. And that's why I hate the fact that you were Skyping this and I'm actually on camera. I hate this, by the way. So I'd rather my voice still sounds young. My face gives it away. So.
Well, Wesley, we're all there, man, and you look really good, my friend. You look really good. So don't But I want to ask you, how did you get that first job? Was Land of the Lost? Was that your first job, or was that?
No, it wasn't. You mean my first TV job?
Yes.
Because I started. I was 17. Well, I was 17, and I went to New York. I was driving a mobile home for Robert Goulet and Carol Lawrence, of all things.
Wow.
I'm 17, right? So the last place we played was Westbury, Long Island. I stayed in New York. I got a job at the American Shakespeare Festival at Stratford, Connecticut. I was understudying Ariel in The Tempest, and it was this big company. It was all the Juilliard School of Music people. It was in fact, the theater just burned down like a month ago, Stratford, Connecticut. And I remember I got on stage. We rehearsed for a month in New York at the Manhattan Club, and then we performed for 9 months in Stratford, Connecticut. And I'd never done Shakespeare. I'm a Southern boy from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And I got on stage, and I'm going, all hail, Grave Master Graves, so hail, I come to answer thy beck and call, be it to fly, to swim, to dive the fire. And they go, Wesley, not on our stage. I go, what's wrong? They go, your accent. I go, what accent? So they sent this Liz Smith, this Juilliard linguist, for 9 months. Every day I had a class. I had to, instead of going running and jumping, I had to go running, jumping, ghost. But then I moved to California, and my first TV show, I answered an ad. A friend of mine called me in Variety. I just gotten to LA. I think I was 18. And they said they're looking for a pretty Barry Williams type for a new series produced by the Monkees. And I went there, and I got it. And it was called The Organic Vegetables with Kay Ballard, who was a friend of mine. She just passed away a few weeks ago. She was in her 90s. And I was the lead drummer singer of a rock band, and we were waiters and waitresses, the 5 of us, in Kay's restaurant, which was an organic restaurant, and we were called the Organic Vegetables. And we started shooting. There was a writer's strike. It never made it on the air. And then, so it went off. And then I got Days of Our Lives. I started Days of Our Lives, and shortly after that, I got Land of the Lost. So I was doing both shows at once.
Wow. So I didn't realize you had Days of Our Lives first and then went to Land of the Lost. I thought it was the other way around. Wow, that's amazing.
And it was amazing because, well, what was amazing was they were both NBC shows. That's the only reason I could have done them. And so the first 3 years on Days of Our Lives, I was doing Land of the Lost at the same time. And so they had to make an agreement with NBC that I could shoot all of my soap opera scenes in the morning. And then in the afternoon, I'd have to go to Goldwyn Studios, or we were General Services for a while, but go over there and shoot Land of the Lost. Of course, the cast hated me because I got out at Days of Our Lives because I got out there early. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Wesley's got to shoot scenes first." But so in the morning, so Daniel, in the morning, I'm crying that my girlfriend is leaving me and doesn't like me, and I'm having sexual problems. In the afternoon, I'm running from dinosaurs.
Oh my God! Well, what a life! I mean, what a life! That's gorgeous. That's gorgeous.
Well, I never took it for granted. When I got my first TV series, I didn't even have a car, and so I remember I had to get a car because I had to go to NBC Burbank and then over into Hollywood and then my apartment. I mean, I was living in this little dive, and I had no money, and I suddenly got 2 TV series really quickly, and so a friend of mine says, "Well, my dad's got an auction." He goes to car auctions, so I go to the car auction in Los Angeles. I'm 18. And a 1951 Riley, which is an English car, this old car with looks like a poor man's Rolls Royce. On the side, if you turn the right and left signals, they were flippers that came out of the side that lit up for directional signals, right?
Right.
Well, of course, it was the stupidest purchase I ever made in my life. It was in the shop for 7 years, but it was. It was fun.
God, that's funny. That's fun. So you pretty much were driving Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
I was. And my license plate said I got my personalized license plate because I was a hip Hollywood guy,
right?
And it said "Life of," because it was a Riley. Life of Riley.
Right.
If you understand that, by the way, if anybody's listening, understand that, you are old. You are very, very old. Oh my God, Daniel.
Oh my God, that is hilarious, though. And so then, how did you do Dragon Tales?
Well, I was producing and writing and starring in some of them. Totally hidden video for Fox TV. It was a hidden camera, like candid camera. So I was with the head writers. I was a producer, segment producer, and then I would cast myself in all the parts, like a waiter or severed head that came to life. And so it was the best job I ever had. In fact, I got 3 paychecks.
That was part 1 of a 2-part interview with my good friend Wesley Eure. And it was a half-hour interview, actually about a 40-minute interview that, actually wound up being more of a talk session with him and I because, we don't really interview because we're friends. So I'm going to show the rest of it on my next show, so please tune in so you can catch that. So I'm hoping you enjoyed the show. This is my first show on the PMN network here. And, make sure that I also have the Evil Dragonfire Theater show going, and make sure to pop over and check that out as well. You can catch all these things on my website, dragonbrushart.com or evildragonfiretheater.com. And, if you have a child, or if you know a child that likes to draw, and I especially like to have children send in their drawings because they're so pure and everything. And, just have them send me in a drawing, and my email is right there. You can send it right there. And what I'll do is every email that I receive, I will answer it personally. And if you send me in the artwork, then I'll probably show it on my show here as well. All right? So until next time, everybody, be good at it, and remain true to yourself always.